if you ever have a second visit or not, but I could potentially add you as a visitor. Scooter said I could do that.
Oh, okay.
If you ever wanted to. That's if you ever wanted to. I really have to be motivated a lot of the times to call people, including my family. So I'm very sorry. I normally just suck at communication, but I just got a couple things I'll share. Not much going on. I'm trying to postpone my sentencing. I got convicted by a kangaroo court, and also this is news. Bill Shipley's a guy that Bill Shipley and Ryan Marshall are are lawyers that have jumped on tons of January 6 cases, including Jacob Chansley, McAfee, Nathan Grave, lots of other people, and they constantly don't do anything, and then they demand more money. And I didn't even ask for these guys as standby counsel. I actually tried firing them, and they wouldn't get off my case, and then blasted all the questions that they publicly shared, all the questions I was going to ask the Capitol Police, or at least that I was planning to the prosecutors. And I said, don't send this on a public document. They basically sabotaged me, and I just found out the other day that they're my standby counsels for my sentencing phase. I mean, they just will not go away. They're like mosquitoes. I can't get rid of them. Absolutely ridiculous. So, these lawyers, I'm just going to rant real quick about these lawyers. These lawyers are terrible. I've seen people drive, it doesn't matter how much money, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how much money you throw at them, they basically just don't do anything, they don't look up discovery for you, they don't do a lot of work for you, and then you end up getting found guilty anyway. So I'm glad I saved money. Kangaroo court, I got found guilty, saved money though by being found guilty by representing myself. So that aside, I want to say thank you guys for being out there again. I remember for a long time, sometimes I take it for granted that you guys are out there every day. I remember for a long time, like early on in January 2021, it seemed like nobody out there was supporting us. We didn't have Trump, we didn't have, any of the Congress members speaking up. Just about a month later, the Russian Foreign Ministry was the first people to say, hey, you know what, they might be overreacting. I think they're kind of treating them a little bit like political prisoners. And times have changed. We had a Billboard #1 hit song from jail. Trump's talking about us to 80,000 people, and they're praising us. We got, other videos that we released from the jail in the past, which is fun. You guys are out there every day. I just remember it felt pretty lonely even when I was here in 2021 not seeing anything. I remember the first time a Vigil happened. It was very exciting. So I want to thank you guys for being out there and not forgetting about us. I also want to give a shout out to the Chinese MAGA people. Taki made a good point earlier, Andrew Taki. And he said, it's crazy. Not a lot of Americans, support us. We got people from China that support us more, especially per capita, than our own citizens. So I want to thank you guys for supporting us. Very cool. And, yeah. So, let me do two more things. Sorry, I don't want to talk your ear off. Make this a monologue, as I sometimes can do. But I want to thank Tammy. Tammy's been super helpful, showing up for, #1, the Vigils, but also #2, she showed up to my trial, and, the stand looked like there was a lot of support for on the prosecutors or the government, but anybody that didn't know, anybody that hadn't been there for a while wouldn't have realized that most of those people over there were prosecutors, like 80 prosecutors. So I had a couple people on my side, which was nice. Tammy was often one of them. It was very cool seeing that. Got to cheer me up a bit. And she was taking notes, which is cool because I was a little bit in the moment just trying to juggle and figure out how to handle my first trial. But yeah. And one more thing. I'd like to thank the people for, I don't know who puts money on these tablets. I wish it told me. I don't know who to thank, but whoever's occasionally doing that, thank you. Yeah, it's nice. Little gifts here and there, even though we're in jail. So, got a lot of thanks for you guys. Don't really have any cool news at the moment. I'm basically just in a limbo mode of post-trial and up to sentencing. So, thank you guys for being out there.
Well, thank you, Brandon. Excuse me. We appreciate you, and we love you, Patriot.
Thank you very much. Sorry I don't have anything of interest to say, but yeah, thank you.
Well, I thought all that was interesting, so thank you. We love you.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. All right, have a good night, guys.
You too, Brandon.
Good night, Brandon.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Well, that's really cute that he asked my husband first if he could get a visit. That's super sweet. I think that's funny. Brandon is a really smart kid.
I got it
And
back on.
sometimes I think that he is a little bit too smart for his own good because he really doesn't know how to tell a lie. And he just tells it exactly the way he sees it. And sometimes that gets you in trouble. You know, the judges don't really care to hear any of that. But I like Brandon. He's a good kid, and I think, you know, he's really brave for doing what he did and standing up there in court and standing against all of those prosecutors. It was at one time there were 6 prosecutors at the table, 4 prosecutors in the gallery, like they were taking notes and like having against this one kid. It just was insane. You know, and he stood up at the end of his trial and he said, "This is a kangaroo court, and I don't care what you say." And he got contempt for it. He'll do an extra 6 months, but at least he spoke his truth.
Yeah, the judge had so no matter what, he's going to do 6 months after that.
We about to stop the steal. Supreme Court, baby.